Hey everyone, and welcome. So when we talk about performance in an AI system, what do we actually mean? It turns out saying something is fast is way more complicated than it sounds. Especially in machine learning, there are two big, critical measures of speed, and they're often fighting against each other. It's a puzzle every engineer has to solve. So let's break it down.
First, we'll look at the two big faces of speed. We're going to start with latency. That's all about an instant, snappy response. Then we'll jump over to throughput, which is the raw power behind massive scale. From there, we'll dig into why you can't always have both. That's the big trade-off. And finally, we'll talk about how you actually choose the right setup for what you're trying to build.
All right, let's get right to the heart of it. Measuring how well a machine learning model is doing in the real world isn't about looking at just one number. Nope, it's really a balancing act between two completely different ideas.
I mean, think about it. Why is it that some apps feel completely instantaneous, right? While other platforms are built to handle millions and millions of people all at the same time? A video game, for example, has to react the second you hit a button, but a platform like Netflix has to be ready for millions of us to hit play all at once on a Friday night. See, those are two very, very different kinds of fast.
Okay, first up, latency. If performance were a track meet, latency would be the 100-meter dash. It is all about pure, raw, instantaneous speed for one single thing.
To put it simply, latency is just the time it takes from the moment a user asks for something to the moment they get a response back. It's that round-trip time for just one piece of data. The whole goal here is to make that single, individual interaction feel as fast as humanly possible.
And what's really fascinating is how much acceptable latency can change depending on what you're doing. For gaming or VR, anything more than 20 milliseconds feels laggy and awful. For fraud detection, when you swipe your card, that decision has to happen in less than 50 milliseconds. But for something like a movie recommendation, you can get away with 200 milliseconds, and honestly, you probably wouldn't even notice.
And this really gets to the core of it. When you're optimizing for low latency, you are laser-focused on making the experience for one user in one moment, as fast and as seamless as you possibly can. And now for our second contender. Throughput. If latency is our sprinter, throughput is the marathon runner. It's not about how fast a single step is. It's all about how much ground you can cover, how much volume you can handle over time.
So, throughput is measured in requests per second, or RPS. Here, the focus totally shifts from a single person's experience to the health of the entire system. The question is no longer how fast is it for you, it's how many thousands or even millions of requests can this thing handle at the same time without breaking a sweat.
And the scale here can be absolutely staggering. An e-commerce site during a huge sale might see 10,000 requests every second. A major search engine, tens of thousands. And the big cloud platforms that power other AI services, we're talking millions of requests every single second. It's a completely different kind of challenge.
So, if latency is all about perfecting one user's moment, throughput is about making sure the whole system can serve thousands or millions of users all at once. So we've got speed and we've got scale. Why not just have both? Max them both out, right? Well, this is where things get really tricky. In engineering, when you optimize for one of these, it almost always hurts the other. This is the central conflict.
And when you look at them side by side, you can really see the conflict, right? Latency is all about speed per request. It's user-focused, and it is incredibly sensitive to any tiny delay. Throughput, on the other hand, is about the total number of requests. It's system-focused, and it's sensitive to how well you can scale. Their goals are just fundamentally at odds with each other.
Okay, a classic example that makes this super clear is batching. Imagine requests are people showing up to ride a bus. To maximize throughput, to move the most people, you'd wait for that bus to be completely full before it leaves. That's super efficient for the system as a whole, but what about the very first person who got on the bus? They had to just sit there and wait for everyone else to show up. Their personal wait time, their latency, just went through the roof. And that right there is the trade-off.
And engineers use this trade-off all the time, strategically. If you increase the batch size or use a queuing system, your throughput goes up, but latency gets worse. Now, the holy grail is using powerful tools like GPUs or something called asynchronous APIs. Sometimes they let you have the best of both worlds by processing things in parallel, but they almost always come with a lot more complexity and cost.
So if you can't have it all, how in the world do you choose? Well, this all comes down to smart system design.
It's never about which metric is better. It's about which one is more important for the specific thing you are trying to build.
You absolutely have to prioritize latency anytime the experience is interactive and happening in real time. A voice chatbot that takes 2 seconds to reply, it feels broken. A fraud detection system that flags a bad purchase after you've already left the store, that's a total failure. In these situations, the speed of that one single interaction is literally everything.
On the other hand, you prioritize throughput for those massive, non-urgent tasks. Think about generating a company's weekly sales report or forecasting demand for the entire next quarter. It really doesn't matter if it takes a few hours to run, as long as the system can chew through that absolute mountain of data efficiently.
And these priorities map directly to real engineering choices. For low latency, you're going to build a real-time API. For high throughput, you'll use a batch inference system. For more complicated stuff, a streaming architecture can help you find a bit of a balance, or you might use microservices to scale different parts of your system totally independently.
And you can see these exact choices being made every single day across different industries. Finance, they need latency for that real-time fraud detection. Retail, they need throughput to analyze all their inventory data. Streaming apps are a perfect mix example. They need super low latency to load your feed instantly, but they need massive throughput to process everyone's viewing data overnight to cook up new recommendations.
So, if there's one thing to take away, it's this. There's no single best answer. The architecture you'd build for a high-frequency trading algorithm would be a terrible, terrible choice for a data analytics platform, and vice versa. Context is everything.
And ultimately, that's what it all comes down to. Look, anyone can build a model that works great on their laptop, but making it work for one user instantly, or for millions of users reliably, that requires mastering this trade-off. It is the fundamental difference between a cool demo and a truly valuable real-world product. And as AI gets deeper and deeper into our lives, knowing which kind of fast matters most, well, that's going to be the key to building the future.